to Edison, and we'll see it again.
Well, Jay, I could understand the secondary getting beat if they had a lot of play-action pass, but it's just a straight drop-back pass, and the boys should know to have three deep secondary, be behind these fellas, and just a straight post pattern. Goodpasture's going to have to learn to get behind these receivers tonight.
Gary Patton now has thrown 4 for 104 yards, and he's completed 3. There's the snap. Patton's going to keep the football himself, and he'll get down to the 10-yard line. Well, I was kidded by the coaches from Goodlettsville saying good luck to you and Tommy and Kevin tonight on following the football. I kind of laughed and said, well, it'd be easy to follow the football, but it's not, is it?
No, it isn't.
The single wing, certainly. Kevin, I'll ask both of you really the question. Why don't we see it as much as we used to? Kevin, first of all.
Well, that's just like the wishbone, the eye. It has its purpose. It can be stopped and it can be successful. Just like the wishbone, the eye, and some coaches grew up with a single wing being a favorite, and this is Smalling's favorite offense.
Allison going back to pass in the end zone. It's intercepted at the 1. Intercepted at the 1-yard line by Butch Nixon, 190-pound senior for Goodpasture, and they have taken another 7 points away from Goodlettsville. And we'll see it again, Tommy. Allison.
Looked like he underthrew it quite a bit. He was running, and it's hard to make that pass, but Nixon makes the catch there. I don't know whether you see this, but he makes a pretty good hit on that fish.
I've seen some mighty good officiating this year. As a coach, I always question officiating, but standing up here, you can tell that we've really got some fine officials here in Nashville.
This is our 9th game, of course, of the year. One more to follow regular season-wise. Next week, Bellevue at Brentwood Academy, number 10 next week. And we've enjoyed each and every one. Shotgun formation going back to pass. Gary Patton, and they're going to throw it intercepted by Darrell Denton at the 30, at the 25, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Denton, and Goodpasture has the lead.
I want to see the replay on that one.
It was one of those. It was one of those dump-like passes that Coach Brown was talking about earlier, except he doesn't run up the line of scrimmage.
The screen, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess Tom, that's what you call it, just a screen up the middle.
Darrell Denson, there he is, big number 89.
Made a great play on that.
And that young man has been a factor in this ball game already.
He scored 12 points.
He sure has. 13-0 is the score. Tom McElhenney will be attempting the extra point try.
That was a big, big play for Goodpasture.
The kick is up, and it is good. Only 19 seconds remain. First half action, and the score is Goodpasture 14 and Goodlettsville nothing.
The Cougar fans like this. That was a big break for them. Now, you go into halftime, and I'm sure the coaching staff at Goodpasture say, look, fellas, we're 2 touchdowns ahead. You secondary boys, don't you dare get caught up at the line of scrimmage. If you have to stay 10 yards behind the receiver, stay behind them. And that is going to make it tough on Goodlettsville because they've had to rely on the passes. It wouldn't surprise me if their passing attack is shut off the second half, Tommy, because Goodpasture's got this lead where they can kind of play back on them now.
Right, they've got a little, well, they've got a big advantage really at second half, and they can afford to lay off and give them some ground as long as they don't let them score the touchdown. It'd be interesting to see if Goodlettsville comes out throwing and trying to get these back real quick, or if they maybe stick to the single wing, which has really got them very little yardage.
Only 19 seconds remain in the first half. Todd Steen will be kicking off to John Allison on this one. 14-0, Goodpasture leading. First half action, only 19 seconds remain. There's the kickoff, and it's a low one. Wobbling on the ground, taking it to 40, out to the 44-yard line. Frank Edison, the ball carrier, 6-footer, 180-pound junior for Goodlettsville. Throwing long, he's got him intercepted.
Is that Mr. Pilkington again?
I believe it is. Yes, it is. Dale Pilkington, Goodpasture marching band, Richard Van Dyke, van director, Miss Vicki Newell, assistant, field commander, Kathy Connor. As they're marching off, let's take a look at the halftime statistics there in front of your screen. First downs, Goodlettsville has 4 of them. Goodpasture with 3. Rushing yardage, 55 for Goodlettsville, 75 for Goodpasture. A very even first half so far. Passing yardage, 4 for 8 in the air for 105 yards for Goodlettsville. 3 of 5 for 77 yards for Goodpasture. Look at how close the total yards are. 160 to 152. Turnovers, that's been the difference so far. Goodlettsville has had 4. It seems like all 4 of them have been inside the 10-yard line, while Goodpasture has coughed the football up twice. In the punting department, 1 for 42 yards, 3 for 31 yards, and in penalties, not too much of a factor tonight in the first half, as you will have two good fine teams won't get hurt by the penalties. Goodlettsville has been penalized once for 5 yards, and Goodpasture 3 times for 15 yards. The ailing Bob Parker back with us tonight and with the statistical data, and we'll see this highlight from the second half. The second TD, as a matter of fact, there in front of your screen, and right there it is. It is the Goodlettsville touchdown, as the pass was picked off rather to Darrell Denson, is the man who picked the football off, ran it back 36 yards on the interception. McElhenney tacked on the TD, and Goodpasture at that point led 14-0, and that's where we are right now. We've got Mr. James Barrick here, the principal at Goodlettsville High School, and a very fine host to us tonight. We enjoy being here, Mr. Barrick.
Thank you, Jay. We're mighty glad to have you here. I've heard a lot of compliments on your telecast. You do a good job.
Well, thank you very much. And Goodlettsville has a fine football team, as always, it seems like, in the last 4 or 5, in the last decade, I guess. Goodlettsville has come up with some fine football teams.
Right. We run in cycles, and we hope we're on an up cycle right now. We have some young boys, and we're looking forward to the rest of this year and next year.
Tell us about your high school here.
Well, we have probably the oldest public high school in Nashville, Davidson County. Would you believe 1917? Just the opposite of Goodpasture. A lot of tradition here, a lot of community support. We have all the graduating classes starting with 1928 through the present hanging on the walls. Students of grandparents here at this school, and a real good community school.
And something about your band.
The band has been in competition twice this year. They won one first place for their class and finished high the second time. We have a new band director this year. They're working hard. We have our band boosters working hard, and the band's having a good season also.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barrick, for being the host here tonight.
Thank you.
James Barrick, the principal at Goodlettsville High School. Let's go down to the field. And the band director, by the way, Sidney Burton, the auxiliary instructor, Debbie Jackson. And let's go down to the field and let the Goodlettsville High School marching band entertain. A tremendous performance by the Goodlettsville High School marching band. There we are on the screen, the non-working folks up here that bring in the ball game. Of course, the working folks in the band behind us and the camera crew, but they do a tremendous job. And the halftime score is 14-0. Goodpasture is leading Goodlettsville, and we'll be back with the start of the second half after some scenes from Under the Sky. Elizabeth Station in Kansas will be on this Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on Channel 8.